We're back, Kurt. Just,
That's whack. They ain't even loud like you was last time. That's whack. Come on, man. What's the value, man? Got to pump it up, baby.
Stop that, Kurt. We're back.
Got to pump it up.
All right. So you already know all the ways to get at us already. I don't have to go through it because I didn't do it last week. So,
look at this.
So we're gonna get right into it, Kurt.
Right.
I know you want to talk about Robert Kraft, but
yeah.
before we do that, some information came through the streets.
Okay, hotline.
That came through the streets. They found out who got R.Kelly out of jail.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to say her name, though, because they put her name already out there. But, so if you don't know, R.Kelly got locked up. And I got more details on, like, the tapes and everything. So, supposedly I think they said it's 2 new tapes have came out. Like, brand new tapes. Now, this is the sick part, right? So R. Kelly, he was in jail. His bail was $1 million. Now, to bond out, he had to pay 10%.
Right.
So that would have came out to $100,000. R. Kelly, I think he turned himself in? I think he turned himself in like Friday or Saturday, something like that. So, but he had to stay in jail because R. Kelly didn't have the money. Now, I've got details on these tapes. From what they've put out is they said that supposedly the tapes were from around the same time that those original tapes came out, that he went to court for, about 10.
Oh, so they were already made, but they weren't released. So
they weren't released. New. So supposedly what happened is the person who had ownership of the tapes, it was his niece in the videos with R. Kelly. Now, supposedly R. Kelly was paying this guy money to not release the tapes. So the guy, I guess once R. Kelly couldn't afford to pay him anymore, the guy went and he gave the tapes up. Yeah, and from what I'm hearing is the lawyer who's kind of working the case, who's ever working this, he's giving these people deals. Because, if you have these tapes, you have child pornography in your possession. So you could go to jail for that.
Right. So
the guy who's kind of heading this case to get R. Kelly locked up, he's working deals for these people where they won't go to jail for having the tapes. They just have to give it to him, and they're going to get everything on R. Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Now, let me pull up here these are just some things from what they said, from what the lawyer said.
First of all, the lawyer aspect, statute of limitation. I think we a couple of guys was having discussions about Illinois statutes. Is it supposed to be 20 years or is it no statute? Because these tapes, again, even though they already been filmed, they're old. So technically, if they fall under the statute, I don't understand how they're being released anyway.
So now, with the statute, it kind of depends. I think it kind of depends on the crime. I know with like drug stuff,
right,
they can't really get you on that. But I don't know about like statutory. I don't know about rape in Illinois.
Right.
But so the lawyer is Michael Avenatti. So from what he says in the video, he said from a press conference he held, it said that the video is 55 minutes. And what he said is that R. Kelly is in the video when he's clearly stating the following to the victim. And basically R. Kelly is saying, give me that 14-year-old, pussy.
Yeah.
Show daddy that 14-year-old, Yeah. Spread those legs and show me that 14-year-old. You got it. And then give me that 14-year-old booty hole.
Oh, goodness gracious.
These are R. Kelly's words.
Oh, my.
And then it also says that the victim also refers to herself as being 14 years old repeatedly on the tape. So base. Right. So repeat. Yeah. So now the woman who it was. So a woman is the one who put the bond up for R. Kelly. Because I know in the beginning they were saying it was like a friend of R. Kelly's, a guy, but it turned out to be a woman that gave R. Kelly the $100,000 to get out of jail.
Okay.
And she stays in Romeoville. And I guess, on the bonds, she had to fill it out. And she said that she was a friend of R. Kelly. Okay. And from just the information they put out about her, they put her name out, but I'm not going to put that out. But supposedly she owns like restaurants and she owns like a daycare.
Really?
Yeah. And from what they said is the moment R. Kelly got out of jail, R. Kelly and his entourage
went to the daycare?
No. They
the moment he got out, went to the daycare.
No, so now that's the thing. Is from what they said, the conditions of R. Kelly getting out, he cannot be around like underage children. Like a condition under like him being out. But they said that R. Kelly went to a McDonald's. He went to McDonald's, him and his entourage, and they said that R. Kelly had women outside the McDonald's. They were playing his music while he was in the McDonald's eating.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's sitting right next to the play place, huh?
Yeah, right next to the what's the McDonald's land?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
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 Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So R. Kelly's going to jail forever, man. R. Kelly's going to jail.
So this also include 17-year-olds as well, right? As far as child considered to be children.
Yeah, like if you're underage, yeah. And from what I've heard is that there's another woman in here. She's of age, but she's accusing him of rape. So from this story is I guess she was R. Kelly's hair braider, and she was in like a room preparing to braid R. Kelly's hair, and he came into the room, basically with his male parts out. Really? And he grabbed her head and tried to push her head down.
Oh, goodness, great.
Yeah, and then he started to play with himself, and his ejaculation came on a shirt, and she saved the shirt, and they actually, I guess, they use it for evidence, and that is R. Kelly's DNA.
Okay, so okay. First of all, first question: is this the hair braider from the I Wish video? Number one.
I don't
Number
know.
two. How short would that be? Where the ejaculation popped on her shirt? She had
from what I'm guessing he had a shirt, and I guess she took the shirt.
Dang, how long he was standing? That's why I don't understand. How long was she? What was she posing and modeling? What's going on? That's why I don't understand. What Harvey Weinstein, whatever not the comedian guy. He masturbating in front of these women.
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. How long are you standing there watching this masturbation happen before this coming up on the shirt, man? Come on, man. He was up there taking a bath, a shower, or something.
Which we're gonna get to Robert Kraft in a second.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
But yeah,
she stood there long enough for him to complete the ejaculation. That means she was standing there for a few minutes, unless he ain't got it like he said he got it.
R. Kelly's going to jail forever, man. R. Kelly's going to jail forever. He ain't getting out of this one. They ain't no song that's getting R. Kelly out of this. There's nothing he can do.
They believe I can fly go a long way.
There ain't nothing. There's no steps in the name of love R. Kelly can make to get him out of this one. R. Kelly's going to jail.
Oh, man.
He's going to jail. He's going to be in there forever. They are working double time to get him in there. R. Kelly's going to jail. All right. Now, Robert Kraft, the owner of the the NFL Super Bowl champion, Patriots.
Yes.
So, I think it was like last week it came out that Robert Kraft was purchasing
the thing
female.
Is, he was at a supposedly massage parlor. But see,
allegedly,
number one, I want to make a comment about this girl, this young lady, Molly Karen Rose. Yet again, I got to correct her that sex trafficking is not a female-only thing. Males are sex trafficked as well. So she always assumed that it's a woman that's being abused. Who said Robert Kraft wasn't being touched on by another man, number one. Number two, this is again why I keep telling you that prostitution should be legalized. This man is a billionaire. You would think he will have somebody on his side as a literal ass set. You understand what I'm talking about? An ass set. He's a billionaire on a private plane, which all this could have taken place on his plane with his ass set. You dig? He got gold diggers apparently not taking care of him, so he got to go to massage parlors. But this is what I keep trying to figure out. Is this just a sting, or they're actually caring about these so-called these sex traffickers? Because it seems like it's just a sting to me.
So from what they said, this is like a sting. It's basically
that's all it is. They don't care about these people.
They are trying to shut down this business. Now, from what
they could have shut down the business a long time ago. Prior to his arrival, he went there twice. So how many times it taken him to go there to say, "Oh yeah, okay, that's."
As a matter of fact, from what they said, he actually went there on the day of the AFC championship game. Yeah. And from what they say, so this is from Yahoo. They said just before 11 a.m. Eastern, Robert Kraft, he entered the business through the front door. He paid cash to a woman at the front desk, and he was escorted to a room. Surveillance video inside the room captured Kraft, who hugged the woman inside before he took off his clothes and laid face up on a massage table. He received oral sex, got dressed, hugged the woman again, and gave her a $100 bill and at least one other bill as well. So maybe like $150. Now, he left the room 11 minutes after entering it. Mm-hmm. So basically...
So she knew what she was doing. Apparently, they knew what they were doing. That's all I can tell you.
Now, and like I said, now the thing that's kind of coming out is that it's possible there could be a sex tape being released of this happening.
Right, because this doesn't make any sense, man. It reminds me of the cartoon when old boy was an undercover cop as a prostitute, but every time, instead of him busting before the act, he busts after the act, after they didn't bust inside of him. This don't make any sense that she was able to, whoever the person was, perform fellatio for 11 minutes. Nobody came in, nobody
not 11 minutes.
Well, whatever time it took for him to get in and get out. Between time. That nobody kicked the doors down, nothing happened. Now, all of a sudden, it's this thing,
Now, from what they're saying, if he's found guilty, there's a mandatory $5,000 fine, 100 hours of community service, and a class on the dangers of prostitution. And he could also receive up to 1 year in jail. But that's not going to happen.
Well, I don't understand, Dick. I say, is it technically solicitation of prostitution when he's inside of an establishment?
So...
That's the other thing, man. They need to categorize what they consider to be prostitution.
So I don't have a problem with him going to do that. I don't have a problem. Like, if he wants to pay for it, that's fine. Because, there's places in Vegas you could go to.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I 100% agree.
But
they pay for it.
From what has kind of come out, I don't know if this is just, how, they do, the media do. They add stuff to it. From what they said is that a lot of these women, it's a possibility some of these women could be underage, or some of these women could actually it could be like a sex traffic ring that possibly he knew about. Now, from what they said is he's not even, there's other big name people who are involved as well.
Right.
So, but he's just the one that has kind of come out.
Right, because whoever that was, I guess apparently they couldn't say, no, I don't do that.
As far as
performing the fellatio on this gentleman, they could have just said no. What is he gonna do?
Well, Kurt, like a lot of these women, if they're brought to the country, they probably don't even it's a possibility they don't even speak English, and if they do speak English, it's very
no
little
is universal,
English.
Man. I don't care about none of what you're about to say.
And no,
that word no is universal.
No, but then also, like I said, if they are sex slaves, you got to understand that. They could be in a situation where.
But like I said, though, my point is that the authorities are on the wrong thing, man. Because apparently they really don't care about these people who are supposedly sex trafficking or being sex trafficked. Because why wait till the act has been done and performed and to decide once this man gets on his plane, now we about to put some papers on him? Come on, man. You really weren't trying to stop nothing from happening.
No, so that's the thing. So the women who were involved, I don't think they actually contacted authorities. I think the police, they're the ones who've been watching this place.
Right.
To stop it. Now, obviously, you know, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm pretty sure they could have been ran up in the place.
Ran up in that
but
joint, man.
You know, but if you add on, now you have a face to it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like, you know, if me and you are going to, you know, massage parlor that's really like a prostitution ring, you know, and they're watching it, it's like, all right, cool, you know, we'll get it eventually. But when you add in the owner of the Patriots, who's been all on TV, whose team is all over the place, and let's not forget, like Robert Kraft has been everywhere. Like, I've seen him more than the players.
Yeah.
I think
he on TV, Dad.
He's on TV. Yeah, he's hanging out with Meek Mill. He's got a big chain on. He was at the NBA All-Star game. He was there.
Right.
So he's out more than the players.
Right.
So now you got a face to it. So now you're going to bring more attention to it.
Right.
So I kind of get it. But
the only attention that's brought
from.
to me is no matter how much money he can't afford an asset, man, because he should already have somebody on deck performing these duties for him as he's taking care of his business. He shouldn't be stopping in Florida. The man has a private plane that he can have all this done on the plane, man.
Kurt.
So his money, whatever his money is, it ain't enough. That's all I can say.
Kurt,
if I was a $6 billion man, I would have an asset on my plane.
Well, he does have, I think he has like a young girlfriend.
No, I would have an asset on my plane. Not a young girlfriend, not a gold digger, not somebody I can take pictures with. I would have an asset on my plane. Do you understand me?
Well, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But you got to think, you know, maybe, you know how, well, I don't know how rich white men are, but I'm pretty sure there was no rich black guys going to that place, you know, but.
But unfortunately, you know, he got caught up in this thing because that's basically all it is, man. They don't care about these women, these young men, boys, girls. They don't care about these people. They just want to catch somebody and sting somebody. And unfortunately, he got caught up in this thing, man. Like I said, it's just what it is, man. But again, people need to realize sex trafficking is not all about females. Males get caught up in it too. So just realize when you hear the words sex trafficking, it's just not all females.
Yeah, there's also children that are sex trafficked as well.
They're included in females and males.
Such as, no. So when you say that,
when I say females and males,
no. So when you say that, I'm thinking like in my head. When you say that, I'm thinking adults,
almost teenagers.
To me, though, like
boys,
it's
girls,
kind of like R.Kelly style, because I almost think that's like getting back to R.Kelly. I almost think that's kind of what R.Kelly was doing in a way.
You think he was sex trafficking?
I think he was a part of a sex trafficking. Because if you really look at what R. Kelly is accused of, a lot of these children who he's had relations with, he has relationships with family of them. Right. So like I stated, like the new tapes that came out, it was a guy that he was paying a guy, and it was his niece. Right. So I'm pretty sure R. Kelly possibly knew this guy already.
Because we always try to figure out where they coming from.
Right.
They have to be given to him or brought to him some
exactly.
way,
so it's almost like a sex traffic ring that R. Kelly has going on with children. You know, like even with the first girl that kind of came out with the tape, she was related to the singer, Sparkle.
Right.
That was her niece or cousin or whatever. And she knew, you know what I mean?
They are.
But now the thing is, what I want to see is, are we going to start talking about the adults involved now?
And that's what they need to do. If he has a lawyer with any ilk in his head, that'd be the first thing. What's going on with the parental guidance, the adult guidance that these young women, girls, whatever, they were around? Because they had to be brought to R. Kelly, man. I don't think he was just going up to McDonald's and going up to schools every day, all day. He's either in a studio, in a concert, somewhere, a different country. Where were they coming from? Right. How he get a harem of girls?
Exactly. So that's what somebody there is a ring going on. Yeah. So there are other people involved other than R. Kelly. But right now, what they're doing, they're putting all the focus on R. Kelly.
Right,
they're not talking about there's probably maybe 10, 15 other people that are involved in this.
Right.
You know, whether it be men or women that are bringing, like, shoot, you look at it this way. There's a woman, like I said, a woman got him out of jail.
Exactly.
You know, like, women buy R. Kelly music. Women go to R. Kelly concerts. Okay. R. Kelly is for the women. So they're the ones that are I don't support R. Kelly.
Right.
You know, so they're the ones that are supporting him.
Of course.
So there are other people involved. So those people need to be, you know, brought to justice just as hard as R. Kelly. Because the thing is, because what I was telling somebody else that the moment R. Kelly goes to jail, I could guarantee you're going to hear more stories. Stories, once he's in jail,
right,
the stories are going to come out.
Right, because they're going to be looking for ways to pay because he's no longer going to be responsible for the lifestyle that he's paying for. That's the thing. Like I had told you before, he's been paying for these people's lifestyle for so long that they look the other way purposely.
Right.
So if he goes to jail, he's already claiming broke. And I'm going to tell you right now, this nigga ain't broke. But if he goes to jail, he will no longer be responsible to pay because he's already in jail. So why am I paying for your extortion? I don't need to. So now you're going to be broke trying to figure out a way to get that money back. So either way, we're going to find out who's in the wrong.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure R. Kelly doesn't own the music that he's put out. I'm pretty sure record labels and all that.
Right.
Own his
I'm
music,
sure he got. He don't have all the masters. He might have a few. He might have songs that he's written, have money on, getting money from reimbursements, endorsements, and all that other stuff from it. But again, he ain't broke, man. Y'all can believe that if you want to. But he's playing broke because he know what's going on right now.
And that's another thing. From what they said is R. Kelly, like, this is just a beginning of shit that's on him.
Right.
From what they said, R. Kelly owes $160,000 in back child support.
Right.
Like R. Kelly is fucked. Right. R. Kelly is
exactly.
They're gonna get R. Kelly somehow.
Right.
Like, I'm almost surprised.
And they need to get his wife there because she was in the room talking about she didn't hear nothing when she was right next door to the bedrooms listening to all the action, but she was unbeknownst to her. Action was being taken place and she wasn't aware of it. Get your ass out of here, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I can hear the ghost in my house.
I'm almost surprised they didn't put R. Kelly on the ankle bracelet. I'm surprised they didn't put him on house arrest.
That's the question.
I'm surprised
what house they gonna put him in arrest if he's supposed to be broke? Because he was trying to start living in the studio. Remember, he was on the undercover stuff talking about they moved all the bedding out. Come on, man. You from the hood? We're gonna put blankets on the floor. Nobody's stupid, man. We know what you're trying to do with this studio. It has a bathroom in it, so as long as it's got a bathroom in it, you can live in it. You dig? So I know what he's trying to do. But why is he don't have the anklet on? That's a great question.
Yeah, wouldn't you say R. Kelly's a flight risk, right?
He can't be a flight risk because he's claiming broke. So if he,
from what you're saying,
then he's gonna have a problem.
No, but from what you're saying, from what you're saying though, R. Kelly is not.
No, he's not.
So even though he's claiming it, if he got money, he is a flight risk.
But if he's saying he doesn't, they're not going to expect him to go anywhere.
Exactly. So, which gives him even more ability to leave.
I'm telling you, man, you got to play it the way you got
to think. It's kind of like
sometimes you got to think like the criminal.
Kurt, it's kind of like the director, Roman Polanski. He was up under some charges,
right?
And know what he did?
He
got the fuck, and he ain't never been back.
Before they consider him a flight risk, so he already beat the system.
Right.
He already
right.
Beat the system. He should have went to one of them islands where they couldn't come. Go back and get him. I can't remember what it's called.
But you know what? The only thing with R. Kelly is anything that happens to R. Kelly, he deserves it because R. Kelly. No, it was kind of like OJ, and I've told you this OJ, a couple years ago, OJ was big everywhere. Like the show came out about him. With Cuba Gooding Jr. and Courtney B. Vance and all those people, they put the show out. Then ESPN did that huge documentary about him. Yeah. So I've gotten a lot of information on OJ.
Yeah.
And from the information that I've seen, When OJ got off the first time, OJ got cocky.
Yeah, that's all that was.
OJ got cocky.
100%.
He was out. He was hanging. He was in the, he was out in the streets.
Yeah.
And then they got him. They got him. They eventually got him. They got him for whatever.
He did it to himself.
Right. And that's what happened to R. Kelly. R. Kelly got off the first time. You know what R. Kelly should have did? R. Kelly should have got the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He could have went to another country. He could release music anywhere.
Yeah.
But R. Kelly wanted to stay right here in Sweet Home Chicago. He wanted to stay. You know what I mean? R. Kelly didn't change up his music at all.
No.
He did try to change it a little bit because when he kind of started putting out the older music for like the stepping music a little bit, but then he came right back to the to the nasty R. Kelly music, and they gonna get him. R. Kelly's done for, man.
Right.
Now,
but now the question is though the amount of time.
R. Kelly's going to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I don't know.
From what I've heard, they're saying 70 years.
Because I don't understand. I don't know which judge gonna sentence him to all that because all the judges grew up on this music. No judge in the judicial system has never listened to R. Kelly. You out of your goddamn mind.
No. So okay. So this is what I'm thinking, Kurt. Now, like last time we talked about Jussie Smollett from Empire, the little Empire boy. Who's out here paying to get his own ass whooped. So
isn't that considered sex trafficking?
this guy, he's performing hate crimes on himself.
Yeah.
This dude. So the thing is, now I have a theory on why I think they're going to give R. Kelly the max, whatever the max is they could give him. I think they're going to give it to him. Is because right now you can't give R. Kelly a break twice. You got to give him the max. And the reason you got to give him the max is because it's going to make the city look bad. Because the city is already looking strange after the thing with the little Empire boy. Like he came out and it turns out he's lying. And now from what you've seen, the chief of police or whatever, this dude's on TV, he's doing interviews, dropping secrets on the dude. And from what I've heard, like some of the stuff that the Chicago police are putting out there, some of it is not necessarily true. From what the police said is Jussie, he wrote the hate crime letter to himself. From what some people are saying, that's not necessarily true. From what I've heard, the FBI is saying, no, he didn't write that letter, but the Chicago police are saying that he did. So it's kind of a mix-up.
Newsflash, people, I write with both hands, so I can write a letter to myself, and you wouldn't know I wrote it to me.
Exactly. But so all you need is that little bit of doubt in the police. You know what I mean? Like all you need is a little bit of doubt in the police, and you've already got it, especially in Chicago.
Right.
So if R. Kelly goes. And R. Kelly if they give R. Kelly any kind of leniency, it's gonna look bad on the city. So whoever the judge is, they gotta give him whatever the hardest is.
They're gonna have the strongest will in the world.
Now,
because they're gonna be listening to R. Kelly on the way to the courtroom.
Now, talking about Will. So like I said, Kurt, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about this for a couple months. It's playing R. Kelly music. You said you ain't gonna stop listening to your kids.
Hell no, I'm listening to it right now. I'm a sex
Now, so another story that came out. I don't know if you heard, Kurt. There's a documentary coming out on HBO about Michael Jackson.
Come on, man, stop it.
And supposedly there are,
even though I was just listening to Michael on the way here, they don't care about it.
They are
not appropriate.
They are supposedly they're victims, alleged victims that are talking about what Michael Jackson, did. Okay. Supposedly this documentary was being shot. HBO bought it. They're going to show it. And the Jackson family is suing HBO for the documentary. Now,
so we're going to get a documentary about all these pervert priests that's been freaking on all these kids for thousands of years?
Let me tell you this.
That's coming right after the Michael Jackson?
Let me tell you this, Kurt. Now, how I feel about it is Michael Jackson was found innocent. Michael Jackson was found innocent on all these charges.
Right.
And the way I look at it is, just if a person's found innocent and you can just put out a documentary about it when the dude's dead and he can't defend himself. Let me tell you something. I'm playing Michael Jackson the day I die.
Man. Again, I'm rolling with Michael Jackson on the way here. They don't care about this. All I want to say is that they don't really care about
I'm rocking
us.
Jacko till the day I die.
You dig?
All right.
I'm moonwalking.
All right. I don't care.
I'm moonwalking
I don't care.
on the grave.
Because Michael Jackson was found innocent.
And again, where the documentary about these pervert-ass priests that's been freaking on these kids since birth?
Well, Kurt,
since
Kurt,
religion started.
Kurt, so I'm going to tell you this. I think there's a conspiracy going on. There's a conspiracy against the black man. And I'd say that is because...
It's 2019, man. When it hasn't been a conspiracy.
No, but I'm saying specifically right now, what's going on is, if you've noticed, like right now, like I said, we know R. Kelly's going to jail. We know it. All right?
Yeah.
Out of all the people, from the Harvey Weinsteins, the Louis C.K.'s, the Kevin Spaceys, all these different people, there's only one person that's in jail.
Yeah.
That's Bill Cosby.
That's Bill William. Jello pudding.
Yeah, that's Bill Cosby. And R. Kelly's going to be number 2.
Yeah.
And now you got the Michael Jackson documentary they're trying to premiere. So it's almost like a thing they're trying to smear the black man. They're trying to tear everything down on us.
But that's generational, bro. That's been going on for generations, man. I think, like you said, it's like a 10 to 15 year period when that happens. You know, it's like every 10 to 15 years that has to be done because, you know, as black people, y'all enjoy calling yourselves minorities. So they want to keep y'all in that mindset because I don't identify as a minority. Because minority means minus, and I'm not less than you.
Now, let me ask you this, Kurt. If I'm reaching on this, tell me. Isn't this somewhat of what the FBI and the CIA were doing to Martin Luther King?
The Black Panthers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Which is what they did with Martin Luther King. They said put out that Martin Luther King was cheating on his wife.
I'm sure they probably put out if they wanted that he was homosexual if they could, but they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So anything they could have put out,
Kurt.
they would have done it, man.
You know, Kurt, you
Medgar
do
Evers
know.
Suffered the same fate. They tried to shut him down. They had to kill him because they couldn't shut him down.
You know, there was a rumor.
Every black man of any type of ilk in this lifetime has been subject. Huey Newton was murdered for no fucking reason other than being black.
You know, Kurt, there was a rumor that they were trying to start that Malcolm X was gay.
I'm sure. You know, of course, the man went to prison. He did all this. He did all that. I'm sure in some type of way there was touching going on. You did. But, you know, some way, it's always, like you said, the conspiracies go on every 10 to 15 years, man. It's nothing new. And just because you all love calling yourselves minorities. So as long as you all keep calling yourselves that, they're going to find a way to keep you in that mind state. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kurt. Kurt, let me ask you a question. Did you watch the Oscars?
Hell no. I don't watch the Oscars.
Why not?
Why am I watching Oscars for? I have nothing in common with the Oscars, man.
Sure you are. Black movies were out at the Oscars. Black Panther won. So Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture. I think Black Panther actually won for like set design and costume. Mahershala Ali, he won for Best Supporting Actor. He's gotten 2 Best Supporting Actor awards. He won Best Supporting Actor for that movie Green Book. Now I ain't seen Green Book. From what I heard, it's a terrible movie.
No, actually, it's actually good.
Really, Kurt? I've heard. From what I've heard, it's not a good movie.
No, see, the thing is, it's not a good movie if you're not strong enough to watch it because it brings back terrible thoughts and times. 1960, there was still slavery. Things like that you would never thought. That's why they considered it a terrible movie because what it was really bringing to the forefront of our new generation who doesn't know history because it's crazy how, quote unquote, African American history is no longer being taught by African Americans. So that movie was terrible to the ones who couldn't handle it.
Now, I'm glad you bring that up, that African American history isn't taught by us. So when the Green Book won Best Picture at the Oscars, which is the best movie of the year. Now, when that happens, everybody involved in the movie kind of comes up to the stage. I saw two black people. It was Octavia Spencer and Mahershala Ali. Those are the only 2 black people I saw. The rest were white people. Now, the thing with the criticism that the Green Book is getting is the character that Mahershala Ali is playing in the movie, I guess that character, his family came out and they pretty much called bullshit on the whole movie in saying that the character that he's playing, I guess his name is Dr. Shirley, that from what I guess in the movie they were trying to say that he was homosexual. His family is saying he was not homosexual. They also were saying that the relationship that Dr. Shirley and the white driver had, they made it seem like they were really good friends, when in actuality they had no relationship at all. Then they also in the movie tried to make it seem as if Dr. Shirley had an issue with being black, which from what his family is saying is also not true, that he was proud of his heritage. So from what they're saying, they're calling bullshit on the movie completely. And from an interview that his family did, is from what they said is that Mahershala Ali, who plays that character, he actually got in contact with the family directly and basically apologized for the movie and was basically saying that the information that he was given was that the character he's playing didn't have any living relatives. So from what he was told, there were no living relatives. And from what he said is if he knew they were living relatives, he would have gotten contact with them to get more information on the character. But from what he's saying is the people who made the movie, they were basically telling everybody involved is that Dr. Shirley had no living relatives at all, when possibly from what his family is saying, they didn't seek them out at all to even get any information, which is kind of where the criticism for this movie is coming on. And
so basically, it's more so from the family themselves as opposed to us who actually didn't know the story at all. Because again, the movie brought to the forefront that I never knew existed.
Right.
So it would have been, they preferred not the movie been made, because apparently that's what it seems like to me. All these complaints that they have, they would have preferred that the movie had not been made. So
from what I'm gathering is that I think that I don't know if they came out and said they didn't want the movie to be made, but from what I'm gathering is that it's like a movie. You know, most movies that are made about people, a lot of it's not true at all.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You got to make it up somewhere.
From what I'm getting from what they're saying is
Hidden Figures. You think all that shit happened in Hidden Figures? Hell
right.
No, we don't know, but I'm sure it did.
But the thing is, with the movie like Hidden Figures, you would assume that the producers got in touch with those characters to get information. From what the family of this Dr. Shirley is saying, they weren't contacted at all. They literally they basically made a movie and just used his name. Now, from what I didn't know is from like the good thing about this movie kind of coming out and getting everything is that it gave me more information, is that I wasn't familiar with what a Green Book was. Now, from what the information I've gotten, the Green Book was something that was sold in like the 50s and 60s and the 70s, and it was a guide for African American people to get around the United States so they can know where to go. Yeah, so they can know like the hotels, the restaurants, the nightclubs, the barbers, so they can know where to go where they wouldn't be discriminated against. I didn't know that.
Didn't know it. I didn't. That's what I'm saying. The movie brought to the forefront a lot of things that I didn't know as an individual that took place in those times. You know, and again, I understand where they're coming from if they felt that their family member wasn't depicted correctly. But where was the protest before the movie was made and not to have the movie made? Because I would have preferred you fought not to have the movie made instead of being upset after. So
now, from what I do know, though, I do know when the movie was released, I know that there was protest. I do remember that there was a little protest when the movie was initially released. And I think that now, once, you know, the buzz, because I do remember that just for the movies that were like nominated, the movies that I was aware of, like I knew about Green Book because, you know, I'm familiar with Mahershala Ali, which he's on. If you ain't seen it, True Detective, really good. He's on there. Yeah, you know.
I gotta get back to it, man.
Gotta get to it. His season's good though. It's pretty good.
It's good.
It's good. Now
it's done in a different way than the other two.
Right. So I'm familiar with him. I know about the Bohemian Rhapsody. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm familiar with that, and of course, I'm familiar with Black Panther.
Right.
And there was other movies. I think Spike Lee, The Black Klansman, was nominated. Okay. I still ain't got to watch that yet. But for one,
for a person who's telling me to watch Oscars for black movies that you never watched, and I watched all these movies that you named, why do I need to watch the Oscars? You don't even watch the movies themselves.
Kurt, I watch the Grammys every year. I don't listen to half of my ones.
That's what I'm telling you about.
Kurt, okay. Kurt,
I be about it.
Kurt, no, you know what? Let me tell you why I watch the Oscars.
Why's that?
Because I want to see if a black person's going to win. I don't really care who the black person is. I just want to see if a black person wins. Nah, Kurt, I watch it. Kurt, you know what? Kurt, the same reason why I watch game shows, Kurt. When I watch Price is Right, you know who I'm looking for? I'm looking to see if a black person wins. That's what I look for, Kurt. I openly do that. I openly admit it, Kurt. When I turn on Price is Right, I root for the black person. When I watch anything, I root for the black person. Kurt, I don't watch hockey. But whatever team that black guy's on, I'm rooting for that team. I root for the black guy. When I watch the Oscars, Regina King, Kurt, won an Oscar. For what movie, I don't know. But, I know who Regina King is. Yeah. And she's black. Yeah. You know what? I don't care what she won for. She won an Oscar. Mahershala Ali, you know what? I ain't watched The Green Book. I'm not going to watch it. But you know what? I know he got 2 Oscars, right. Kurt. That's all I know. Unless you're Denzel. I ain't rushing to see your movies, okay? I'm just letting you know. I ain't rushing to see nobody's movie, okay?
Man, I haven't watched the Oscars in so long, man. Like I said, I don't be paying attention to this stuff, man. Like I said,
Spike Lee won an Oscar.
I don't make these people more than what they are, bro.
Spike Lee won an Oscar, Kurt. Come on.
Whatever these shows are, that's what they are. They're not worth my time.
Spike Lee won an Oscar
for
Best Adapted Screenplay. He finally got an Oscar. Finally. After years of not getting one. Years of not being recognized, he finally won. He was very happy.
Yeah.
And you know what he did? He went up on stage and he read a nice speech telling people to go out and vote. To get, the orange devil out of the office.
Well, that's still a couple of years, though.
Yeah. Kurt, we're close to it.
It's getting there.
We're close to it.
Time is ticking.
We're close. Yeah. So, all right, Kurt. So, last night, I watched the Lakers and the Grizzlies. And I just want to bring this up because this has been the talk now. Do you think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs?
No, I didn't think they were going to make it from the beginning, to be honest with you. I knew with the original squad they had, it was going to be a filling out process more so than anything. And it should have been realistic to the Lakers, even when they got LeBron, that it was going to be foregone conclusion that they weren't going to make the playoffs.
Kurt, currently, the Lakers are number 11 in the West.
Yeah, they just dropped down.
They're number 11
about a week ago.
Yeah, they could be because last night Sacramento lost. I think the Clippers may have won. Yeah, the Clippers won last night.
Okay. Yeah.
Minnesota, the Lakers are tied with Minnesota right now, but I think Minnesota owns a tiebreaker.
Okay.
So right now the Lakers are number 11. They are 3 games back of the 8th spot, which is held by San Antonio Spurs. I hope the Spurs don't make the playoffs. I don't want them to make it. I don't want them to make it.
Hey, why? Hey, but again, like I said, I knew the Lakers weren't gonna make it anyway. It was everybody always enjoyed jumping on these bandwagons. Like I was telling y'all about that Luka Doncic, man. Get off the bandwagon, Playboy.
What you talking about, man? Look at the dime, man. Luka's good,
but
man.
The Lakers,
that's
man,
like I said,
they for years, man, they lost that spark. They lost that spark a long time ago, even before Kobe retired, man.
Kurt, to be honest with you, I think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs because I'm just looking. I'm looking at the schedule that they got coming up.
See, this is the problem with y'all in this schedule. Y'all forget that these are professional basketball players, and you think that the team that they playing next was just going to fold.
No, I don't think that. So the reason now, let me say this. It all depends on one thing. Now, when when the Lakers actually started taking their nosedives, it was around the time when LeBron got hurt, but it was really around the time. On Christmas. No, on Christmas when he got hurt against the Warriors, And LeBron missed like 17 games or however many it was. But when Lonzo got hurt. So, and look, you know me, Kurt. I think Lonzo is good. I think Lonzo's a good player.
Yeah.
So I think, and I'm all on. I'm with LeVar. I think if the Lakers going to be successful, Lonzo got to be there. They need an actual point guard.
Lonzo got to make the open basket when he in the rim by himself, and he passes back.
And you know what? I'm not even really talking about.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm not talking about offense. I'm actually talking about. I think Lonzo is the best defensive player on the team.
Oh, he got some hands on him.
Lonzo's the best.
Yeah, he got some good hands on him. Yeah,
like against everybody, Lonzo is the best defender on that team. Yeah, and what I saw last night, LeBron's not playing defense. Nobody on that team is playing D.
No.
LeBron is going through the motions right now. But when I look at their schedule, on Wednesday, they play the Pelicans. They just lost to the Pelicans, actually.
Without AD.
Right. Well, look, man. This dude, Anthony Davis, I think last night, I think he played like 20 minutes. They're not playing him.
No.
They're playing him maybe like – the only reason they playing him is because they got to play him. Yeah. Because the NBA is going to find him. So they just playing him just to play him. He's not playing. He's not. He's making no dents in the game at all. He's just – they're forcing him to play him. Mm-hmm. But they're playing the Pelicans. Friday, they play Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. Now, Giannis is hurt. But if Giannis gets back, the Bucks will probably win that. Right. But then the next few games, they play the Suns, the Clippers, Denver, Boston, and Chicago.
The only winnable game out here is Chicago.
Nah, you know what? I think they definitely can beat the Suns. I think the Clippers is a toss-up. The Celtics, I'm not sure. The Nuggets, not sure. But the Bucks kind of depends. Kind of because I think LeBron will get up to play Giannis.
But that's if Giannis is playing, like you stated.
Right, but if Giannis isn't playing, I think the Lakers can beat the Bucks. But that's the thing. Like, really, I remember people talking about like they got a rough schedule, but the games that I'm seeing that really matter are the games against the Clippers. There's a game against Sacramento. And that's pretty. And they got another game against the Clippers. So they got 2 more games against the Clippers and 1 against Sacramento. Those are the teams they got to beat out to get number 8 in the West. Now, it don't matter either way because if they get 8, they're going to get swept by the Warriors either way. But, LeBron can't, if LeBron misses the playoffs, that's, LeBron misses
It's the first time for everything, man.
I'm just saying,
It's the first time for everything.
I'm just saying, Michael Jordan, like when he went to the Wizards, he missed the playoff both years. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan was fucking 45 years old when he played for the Wizards.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, man. Can't throw no comparisons on them, man. Like I said, man.
You can't compare. I'm telling you, man. If Michael Jordan was on this Lakers team, they'd be winning the championship, right? All facts.
At 45?
Yeah. Michael Jordan could. If Michael Jordan laced up the shoes right now, Michael Jordan could average 10 points in the NBA. I guarantee it. All right. Now, Kurt, before we wrap up, I got an announcement. I'm getting myself prepared for it. I'm going to try to get on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, really?
I'm going to try to get on Wheel of Fortune. We were talking about it, Kurt.
Okay.
I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Kurt, I was laying in bed. We turned on Wheel of Fortune. Kurt, I was knocking those puzzles out.
Okay.
Kurt, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it.
It'd be the one black guy that I could root for.
Kurt, there are black people on Wheel of Fortune. Like I said, when I watch Wheel of Fortune, I root for the black people. When I watch it, I do root for the black people. But I'm going to try to get on Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
I'm going to start it. I'm getting myself ready. I got Wheel of Fortune set to record, and I'm about to study up, Kurt. I'm about to study up on it. I got to submit a video. I'm going to submit a video. I'm going to try to get on there, Kurt.
Yeah, good.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try. And when I get on there.
You got to win.
Yeah, and, like everybody, I already told everybody already. The moment I get some money, I'm cutting everybody off.
So I guess this is our last podcast.
Right. So if I get on it. Right. So if I get on it. So if I get on it, I'm just letting it be known. Everybody's getting cut off. Yeah. Like I'm not, I'm no need to fake it. No need to fake it. Yeah. But hey. So Kurt, what you got to end with?
But like I said, they need to do something better with this these traps that they're setting up for this sex trafficking, man, because these are nothing but things, man. They don't care about these people. They don't care about the people that are being mistreated. All they care about is catching the Johns and the people that's trying not to harm other people. Just make prostitution legal, man. Quit fucking around trying to trap people. This is not catch a predator. You can't catch a predator every time. Just make prostitution legal, man. All this shit will go away. Everything people need to realize. Once you make shit illegal, that's when people want it the most.
So
you legalize it, you won't have these problems no more, man.
So Kurt, now let me ask you this. Do you think, because this is what I truly believe. I truly believe that with drugs and even prostitution, that it would be legal if they could figure out how to tax it.
Guaranteed. That's what I'm saying. That's what they need to figure out, because they won't be going through all this shit, man. They like I said, they want to pretend that they're trying to help people, at the same time ruin everybody else's life who's trying to find a way, ironically, not to harm somebody. He went to this place to get gratification in order not to harm somebody else.
But let me ask you this, though. You would think that, like you said, Kurt, this dude has so much fucking
Right, he should have an asset on the plane.
But from what they said that the fine that he would get, it almost be like the average American with an average salary being fined $2. That's how much $5,000 to him.
That doesn't matter.
But what I'm saying is that he has enough money to where, like we said, all he would have to do is go to Las Vegas, go to a nice, ranch somewhere deep in the depths of Sin City, pay for it all. Kurt, Lamar Odom was smoking crack and had a heart attack in a whorehouse.
Right. He had his priorities straight. He was one-stop shopping.
Right. So that's what, and Lamar Odom didn't go to jail for that, because where he was doing it at, it was good. Exactly. So I put some of the blame on, Robert Kraft.
Me too, because he should be able to afford it.
He should be smart enough.
That's what I'm saying. He should be smart enough.
If you've gotten to, like, Robert Kraft got to be in his 70s, right? You would think so.
At the least.
If you've been 70 years on the earth, you should know where to go to pay for
some strain.
Yes, for some strain. Yeah. You shouldn't go to some random
boys club where y'all don't know where to go.
Right. You shouldn't go to some random, Asian massage parlor to pay for it. Come on, man.
He thought the good old boy network was gonna kick in, I guess.
Look, and that just lets you know. That lets you know that's you living the good life there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for him to sit back here and not have a worry in the world to go somewhere in Florida. Just like, I'm going to go to this massage parlor, man. I'm going to go in here this room for about 11 minutes. Yeah. 11 minutes, I'm going to come out.
Get to the game.
Right. Real quick. I'm pretty sure he could have went to, Las Vegas real quick.
Yeah, he could have went to a whole lot of places real quick.
Yeah,
But hey, man, you got shit. It's again, life is just a catch-22, man.
Shout out to my man Marion Barry.
that was the ultimate thing. Right. That's what you call it. That's what you call it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I am with you on that. Like I said, Kurt, I'm with you. Make prostitution legal. If a woman or a man wants to sell their body, they should be able to do it.
They should be able to do it, man. It's a commodity, no matter what you want to call it. The body, the human, no matter how you call it, it's a commodity, man. Yeah. It has always been.
Prostitution, what they say, Kurt, is the oldest profession in the world. It's the oldest profession in the world. It's been here. It's been, Kurt, prostitution. Prostitution and hired murder.
Yeah, exactly. Two oldest professions in the world.
That's Kurt. That's gonna be the name of this episode: prostitution and hired murder. The oldest professions in the world.
Straight up. Yes, indeed.
All right, Kurt. You got anything else?
That's it for me.
Intern, you got anything? Okay. All right, then I guess that's it.
All right.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.